And just like that, we're back again with another update on XRP. Shout out to the XRP family. Appreciate you guys as always. Let's take a look at, what's happening and of course what we could be expecting going into Thursday morning. So as far as the 24-hour time frame is concerned, we have seen a little bit of a retracement for the broader market. XRP is up about 0.3% in BTC comparative. In USD comparative. We're down about 1.1% in BTC comparative because of course dominance is going up. Valuation sitting at about 129 billion and the 24-hour trading volume at about 2.2 billion. But over the last 1 hour, you are starting to see the altcoin market going back into the green. So that is always nice to see. But before we get into any further, as always, just a quick disclaimer, anything on this channel is not financial advice. Always do your own due diligence and research when you are investing in crypto. So look at this. White House official says the US government has an accumulation plan to buy Bitcoin for the strategic Bitcoin reserve. We're not talking about, Bitcoin that they obtained from criminals and such as that. This is actually them buying BTC for a strategic Bitcoin reserve. So that is quite interesting to see that, the fact that they have a plan, accumulation plan, and it kind of obviously gives us a better understanding as to what is yet to come. But moving forward, Coinbase stock is about to hit its all-time high. It's about to enter price discovery mode, but you can see, coin hits 4-year high. So now Coinbase stock is absolutely sending. We're also seeing, the stock of Circle absolutely going mad mode. We're talking about a 10x in such a short span of time. So in terms of an IPO for, crypto companies, you can really see that it's heating up. There's a lot of interest, and I think this is going to bring in a lot of eyes on, the crypto market. So even, companies that have not gone public, this might, bring in conversation within some of these companies to maybe think about going public, especially when you're seeing crazy amounts of interest coming into these blockchain companies. So again, I wanted to kind of point this out. Imagine if Ripple was public, I think it would have been crazy as well. But again, I think in the future we are going to see Ripple go public. It hasn't been ruled out at all, because let's face it, Brad Garlinghouse himself said beforehand in the past that they are going to go public. So I'm sure they have that somewhere in the pipeline. But obviously Monica Long has come out earlier this year, said that they don't have any plans of doing an IPO this year. So that's totally fine. I think they will move strategically. I'm sure Ripple knows what they're doing. But just imagine a time where we see Ripple being traded on Wall Street, just a game changer. For the crypto space. But moving forward, bullish, the US and others are adopting Bitcoin alongside gold as reserve asset for its scarcity, inflation hedge, and digital resilience. So you kind of, going back on what we discussed at the beginning, White House official, how he's saying that, the US government has the accumulation plan. But take a look at this. This is what a lot of people are talking about. XRP supply is suddenly dropping across multiple exchanges. So what's really happening? People are wondering, is this causing due to the fact that, we're seeing a bunch of OTC transactions taking place? What's really causing, such a sudden, major drop for, the XRP native token? Again, we'll find out. Maybe there are insiders that are picking up, OTC. A lot of people, focus on why is the price, not going up? Why is the price not moving up? Believe it or not, when it comes to this type of OTC, when you are not considering OTC volume, you need to consider sometimes there's millions and if not billions of dollars worth of transactions that take place on that OTC market, and that has zero impact on the broader market. So kind of, going back in my previous updates, we've been talking about how, we're noticing big amounts of shift in terms of wallets, from one wallet to another. Could that be, an indication of the OTC transactions really taking place? It's being kept down, I think, on purpose, because the price of XRP has tried, to break out several times. We have retested the 23.6 just last month, and we got rejected at that range. We retested $2.34, 2 different times, got rejected. That's the level I've spoken to you guys about. It's a level to be keeping an eye out on, because if we're able to break above that, pretty much opens the door for us to get back into the 23.6. But I personally believe, the bulls and the bears are really having a major battle here, and the bears are trying their best to keep the price down, within the 38.2. But you know, with the way this thing has held, like, you gotta give credit where it belongs. You know, whether you like it or not, whether you call it a stable coin or not, to anyone that's going to call it a stable coin, I really want you guys to, you know, kind of zoom out and take a look at it from November levels. You're still up right now about 337% for the third or fourth largest asset in the crypto space. But look at the way it has been accumulating within the 38.2. You just cannot ignore that. And I'll say it 1,000 times if I have to. But let's move forward. So look at this. This is huge. After significant studying and in keeping with President Trump's vision to make the US the crypto capital of the world, today I ordered that great Fannie Mae and Freddie Mac to prepare their businesses to count cryptocurrencies as an asset for mortgages. So ordered. This is huge. This is coming from the US federal housing. So now people that actually hold crypto in their portfolio, especially the long-term holders that have been accumulating for years, that actually hold the assets before, if you were to apply for a mortgage and you were to go, and when it comes to the asset side of the application, when you talk about it, they're like, oh, what type of assets do you have? And you mention, oh, I have crypto. Most of the time they're just like, oh, no, we're not talking anything with crypto. And they act like, you know, it's just like something out of the ordinary. But now that is changing. Jerome Powell yesterday also stating that banks can now, you know, offer crypto services to their clientele, which opens up yet again another avenue for, you know, a bunch of money to inflow within this space. But take a look at this. Remember, the Genius Act would require stablecoin issuers to hold 100% of their reserve in cash or treasury bills. Tether currently holds 5% in Bitcoin and 5% in precious metal, both of which would not meet the requirement. So what would meet the requirement in that case? USDC and, of course, RLUSD. So imagine how much you know, RLUSD can take up in terms of the market share of that stable coin. So look at this, you know, XRPL session prompt platform, a demo for real estate tokenization on the XRPL ledger. And you guys can see this for yourself. Real estate tokenization on the XRPL ledger is actually happening. We saw an example of that in Dubai about a month and a half ago. And I think over time, more and more of this is going to happen. As we know, tokenization is going to be the future of finance. And this is where XRPL Ledger is that one-stop shop and changes the game for developers and obviously people that are wanting to tokenize. But let's take a look at, you know, what's happening with the prices. So if you're looking at the dominance, it has gone up quite sharply since the 24th of June, which is just about 2 days back. So, you know, dominance is pretty much all over the place right now. You know, BTC is looking really, really good right now. You know, we went up to the $108,000 just a few hours back, but you can really see the importance of that 106,800 level that I've been speaking to you guys about day in, day out. We broke above there and pretty much have been, you know, going up ever since. Right now, we're having a little bit of a price you know, hurdle coming in front of us. You guys can see this for yourself around 108,000, which was an all-time high back in December. Obviously, if we're able to break out of there, you know, we could push up to 109,000, potentially even breaking towards an all-time high, which itself would be quite interesting. And usually when Bitcoin is on the verge of breaking an all-time high, you do tend to see the dominance, you know, show strength, and that's exactly what we're seeing right now. But as far as XRP is concerned, still holding really good. We did come up to the $2.22 just a few hours back. But the level still remains to be the same at $2.33. We want to break above there. That is the level that could take us back up to the 23.6. So let me know down below what you guys think. We'll see you later in Crypto ZX and peace out.